Okay, welcome Simon to the July State of the Market. Hello everybody. Simon, let's start with you. As always, what are we seeing?
What are we saying? Yeah, so welcome, Ainsley. Welcome to everyone. So, going to be very interesting next RBA meeting. So, the chance of a rate rise, unfortunately, has increased to 37% now at the next meeting. It was hovering around the 19%, but the job numbers, there were more jobs created in the last month or so than what was expected around the country. Not so many in Victoria, but certainly around the country. So, hopefully, that 37% means that it doesn't actually happen, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, there's a fair bit going on in the market, so yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Shall we just start with the property market, I guess, and then we can head into the financial market?
I think so. So much has happened in the last few months, as we've touched on before with government policy changes and interest rate rises earlier in the year, etc. But what we're seeing is a buyer's market at the moment generally, but it does depend suburb by suburb and is it in the city or regional. But overall, especially in Melbourne and Victoria, we're seeing just being a bit easier to buy. We've got clients buying in southern Queensland as well, and it's not as many people going to inspections. So, we had a client who nearly purchased for underneath the range last week. We've had plenty of others who are buying within the range as opposed to buying, paying more than the range. So, so more of a buyer's market is what we're seeing.
Yeah. And in terms of the banks, I guess it's getting quite competitive, isn't it?
Oh,
There's been a little bit of a downturn, I guess, with purchases, especially for investors.
yep.
But the banks are looking for business, which is great for everybody. Yeah, what are
Yeah.
we seeing in that space?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the banks are a bit quieter than I guess what they've been for a while. So from our side, then we're having more luck pushing the banks for better rates at the moment. So
Yeah.
whether it's refinance or a purchase, just because they're not getting as much business as usual. So that means that we're able to help our customers more, and we're able to help our existing customers more by going back and getting better rates. So it's very competitive at the moment.
Yeah, refinancing is picking up because there are better offers that we've been able to secure for some of our clients. We
Mm.
have had our refinancing, I guess, from our customers has increased because they're so competitive, but also just because of external situations that
Mm.
are happening, and people may not realize that, there are options for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So often there is, I guess, life events that have happened. So,
Yes.
I mean, a life event might be, the kids are growing up and the house is getting a bit smaller, and we've had this a couple of times in the last couple of months in terms of we need an extra bathroom because, kids are teenagers now. And
Mm,
so we've seen that. We've seen other
yeah.
situations, unfortunately, where there are separations. So then with separations, then with separations, then we've got to do what we can to help people move on in terms of the property side, which might be buying the ex-partner out. Other other things that happen sometimes is someone's been waiting for a bonus, like a customer's been waiting for a bonus. We know there's one coming, and then when the bonus hits, and maybe there have been 2 years of bonus income by then, and then even with a couple of lenders, 1 year of bonus income can make a real difference to borrowing capacity. So sometimes it's the income side that has changed, which then means, okay, we can refinance, and you'd love to go on that holiday, or you'd love to, get the kitchen or bathroom sorted, and now we can get you a larger loan. So there's often different triggers for us to look at refinancing.
Yeah. And on that sort of topic of needing things, not sure if a lot of our clients realize that we do personal loans. We have had a bit of an influx in the last couple of weeks with car loans, and particularly if you don't want to add to your home loan and have a 30-year term to pay off your car, personal loans are a great option. And they're also a lot quicker in the process to through
Mm.
application to getting your funding. So you've had one customer who urgently needed a new car. Theirs blew up and they need it for work, and it's something that can be turned around very, very quickly. So I guess it's just a FYI to our
Yeah,
customer base that, yeah, personal loans are something that we can assist you with.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, some of the other situations we've seen is people with multiple credit cards and, that debt consolidation, right? Maybe there's a car loan and a couple of credit card debts, but it's messy. Maybe a couple of the loans aren't set up well. So yeah, sometimes it's consolidating it into one
Yeah.
repayment. And then in some of those situations, we're recommending maybe consider not opening another credit card. Some people are fine with managing credit cards, not everyone is. I just want to touch on another really interesting example we've had in the last week or so, which was a sole trader. So a self-employed customer who's a sole
Yep.
trader, so doesn't have a company, sole trader, but the borrowing capacity difference for her was markedly different compared to a couple of lenders that she'd looked at. And then someone recommended that she talk to us because obviously we've got access to over 30 lenders. And one of the lenders, a lender that we don't actually use that often, but at the end of the day, our role is to find, the right option for our customer. And sometimes there are lenders that are a bit more generous with borrowing capacity from time to time. So we
Yes.
love doing that, right? We love putting the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together, and she is over
Yeah.
the moon. And we're talking about buying an investment property, so we're still getting people looking at investments, right? Because if you
Yes.
believe everything in the media, it's like no one's buying investment properties, but that's not that's yes, less people might be, but some people still are,
Still.
and some people are saying, well, okay, I wanted $1 million property, but now things have changed. Maybe the borrowing capacity has dropped, and how about I buy a $600,000 property? So the market has changed, but it doesn't mean investors don't want to invest.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I think we've covered off quite a few things. Don't want to take up too much time either. So we might just end it there, if
Love
that's
it.
okay. Yeah, we'll come back to you next month in August.
The end of August.
Yeah, and the RBA meet in August as well. So
Yeah, there'll be more news.
we will see. We will
Okay.
see.
Thanks, Ains.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.